So I know a lot of people hate the idea of sitting down with like a 4-inch thick pile of flashcards and memorizing all of them. So I'm going to teach you guys how to avoid this chore. My name is Jackson from Let's Learn Languages, and today I'm going to show you guys different ways to memorize a lot of words without using flashcards. Let's begin. In my opinion, the easiest and most effective way to learn a bunch of words in a foreign language is to simply watch TV. Sit back, relax, throw on a show in your target language, and set the subtitles to your native language. And when you watch TV like this, you hear the same sounds over and over, and on the screen you see the same words over and over. Your brain starts to form this connection, like, this sound means this word. And you don't even have to do any work, you just get to watch TV. This strategy is also incredibly useful for people with a specific interest. So say you really like solving puzzles. Now what you would do is you would find a show that spans a season long, and they solve a crime throughout the season. And what you're doing is you're exposing yourself to basic words and phrases in that language, and you're also exposing yourself to vernacular used in that language relating to your interest, i.e. solving puzzles or crime scenes, what have you. So when you go and talk to somebody who speaks your target language, you already know all of the words to use when describing what you like to do. So in my eyes, that's a win-win. You learn basic phrases, you learn phrases that revolve around what you enjoy doing, and then you get to practice using those phrases when you talk to a native speaker. The second thing you can do to memorize more words without using flashcards is to read. Now what this tip uses is something called positive punishment. Positive punishment is a conditioning tool, and the idea behind it is that every time you make a mistake, you are given something that you don't like. Now in this case, when you read and you don't know a word, you are forced to go look it up in Google Translate, which takes up time, makes you feel stupid, is just a nuisance and a hassle overall. And this is exactly the punishment that you are given for not learning a word. Now in the future, in order to avoid this feeling of shame, this feeling of wasting your time, you will more likely be able to remember that word. Additionally, on a brighter note, once you get good enough at reading, you can start to read stuff that you actually enjoy. So say you really enjoy reading romance novels. You could read romance novels in your target language for practice. So not only are you having fun, but you're also learning a language at the same time. So although the start of reading may be difficult for you at first, over time, it can become something that you actually really enjoy. So this third trick is probably the weirdest on the list, but it'll make sense. So what I want you to do is I want you to get out a post-it note or a pile of post-it notes, and I want you to look at anything in your room. We'll just use the wall, for example. We'll use the wall. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look up wall on my handy dandy magic square that lets me do this, aka my phone. I'm gonna look up on my phone, what is the translation for wall in insert your language here. So then on the post-it note, you write down the translation for wall and you slap that sucker out there. So now you have a post-it note on your wall that has the translation for wall in your target language. Now what this does is whenever you enter the room and look at your wall, the word will immediately pop out at you and you will read it in your target language. And then after enough times, they will become synonymous. Wall and this word go together. When wall and this word go together, you will be able to recall the word wall when you need it in conversation with native speakers. Now, this can be done with any single item in your room. So if you really want to have a heyday, you could just label literally every single thing in your room, that's safe to do so. Like you don't want to put a post-it note on food and then eat it with the post-it note or something dumb, But, for common sense wise, you can literally label every single thing in your room and your vocabulary will be expanded by however many different items you have in your room. Learning all these words may not happen right away, but it's your room. It's literally the area in which you sleep. Chances are you'll end up memorizing a lot of the words just because your eyes are drawn to words. So that's literally the brain hack moment of this video. If you want to hack your brain and make it do shit that you don't want it to do, just write words everywhere and it'll work. And there's nothing you can do about it. So good luck with that. So the fourth tip requires a bit of effort, but it works really well. So what you do is when you wake up, you think of a word that you don't know in your target language, but you do in your native language. You go in your Magic Pocket Square, look up what the translation is, and then you tell somebody about it. Maybe it's your language partner, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's, your parent or guardian, or maybe it's, yourself. You write down a note to yourself, whatever. Point being, you tell somebody what the translation is for the word you don't know, and you do that every single day. What's really great about this tip is that you are maximizing your efficiency by continually spacing your repetitions. And you're also never memorizing words you don't know. They will always be words that are foreign to you. Even if you think of a word that you realize, oh man, I should have known that, it'll still stick in your brain more. Obviously you didn't know it if you weren't able to recall it, and next time you'll probably know it because you thought it was obvious when you looked it up. If you want something that works incredibly efficiently, that's the tip for you. So the best thing about this tip is it will probably extend your passion for learning this language, which is so important. It's one of the most underrated things when learning a language is your passion for it. And when you look up a word that you've never heard of and you pronounce it for the first time, there's like no better feeling than thinking either that word is really cool or that word is really funny. And I think the word being really funny really makes you love the language so much more, and that is crucial in learning a language and staying motivated, which is why this tip is actually pretty important and a pretty powerful tool if you use it correctly. But other than that, I have nothing else. That's it. Those are my tips. I appreciate you guys watching. It means a lot to me, and I really do hope you guys have a fabulous day, and I really do hope that I'll see you guys in the future. Much love. Ciao, ciao.